Hey guys, XBoy here. TheCubicle.us is one of my favorite stores of all time. They have a wide selection of puzzles available to buy with some great customer service to boot. And unlike some other larger retailers, you can definitely tell that TheCubicle actually cares about their customers and the entire community as a whole. But recently, something happened to TheCubicle that could have shut them down and would have harmed the entire speedcubing community as a whole. What happened exactly? Well, I'm going to summarize everything as best as I can, but without leaving out too many details. After I say everything, I'll give my thoughts and opinions on the matter. Before I start, however, I want to let you know that everything I used to gather the information you're about to hear will be linked in the description down below. On October 11th, 2017, Rubiks brand Limited sued Cubicle Enterprises LLC, or TheCubicle. The reason they sued TheCubicle was because they believed that they were selling knockoff puzzles that infringed on their copyright of a 3x3x3 twist puzzle cube with black plastic and the original sticker scheme of white, yellow, red, orange, blue, and green, which they referred to as the Rubiks design mark. Rubiks also said that TheCubicle was manufacturing their own cubes that resembled the Rubiks design mark and cites their Cubicle Pro Shop service as an example. Along with that, they also said that TheCubicle was selling do-it-yourself kits that also resembled the Rubiks design mark, using the Cube Twist Bandage 3x3 DIY kit as an example. Finally, Rubiks also said that by selling cubes that resemble the Rubiks design mark, they are confusing consumers into believing that they are receiving a Rubiks brand product, and that when they receive the product they will be disappointed that it was not made by Rubiks, which would cause harm to the Rubiks brand. After this, TheCubicle quickly got in touch with Rubiks in an attempt to come to a resolution. This, however, did not work out well at all. During the entire 4-month settlement negotiation process, Rubiks made a lot of one-sided quote-unquote offers that would benefit them but still harm TheCubicle's business. Two of which being that TheCubicle ceases displaying solved cubes on their site and that they refrain from offering cubes to larger merchandisers. Of course, TheCubicle never took any of these quote-unquote offers. The end of these discussions came when TheCubicle said that they were going to file counterclaims to the lawsuit. Rubiks responded to this news by voluntarily dismissing the suit themselves without prejudice, meaning that they can sue back at any time. However, TheCubicle wasn't done with Rubiks quite yet. On February 7th, 2018, TheCubicle announced on their official YouTube channel that they are suing Rubiks. Here is a quote that TheCubicle released on their website regarding the lawsuit. Cubicle Enterprises LLC has filed a lawsuit against Rubiks brand Limited seeking cancellation of 4 of its trademarks on the basis of utilitarian functionality, genericness, and fraud, as well as treble damages for various antitrust violations related to trademark misuse and attempted and actual monopolization. The suit also requests a declaratory judgment that TheCubicle has not violated Rubiks' purported federal and state trademark rights. It is notable that recently, the European Court of Justice, Europe's highest court, ruled that the shape of the cube cannot be protected by trademark law, which is a case that Rubiks lost. TheCubicle hopes that the US courts will come to a similar conclusion. Now, before I get on to my opinion on the matter, I want to list some other shady things Rubiks has done in the past in an attempt to monopolize the cubing market. They threatened legal action against Cubing USA because they chose Chi Mofangi as a sponsor for Nationals 2017 instead of Rubiks. Rubiks sued Dunkin' Toys in mid-2017 for making a quote-unquote knockoff cube, and they also sued Toys R Us for selling it. In 2012, Seven Towns, which Rubiks brand became a division of in the following year, sued Diane for using the Rubiks color scheme on their products, and during this time, any puzzles that went through customs that used the Rubiks color scheme were instructed to be destroyed. And I'm sure there are way more examples, but that's all I could find for now. Where do I even begin on my opinions about this lawsuit? It's been so obvious that Rubiks has been wanting to control cubing for years, and the fact that they were willing to attack arguably the most popular cube store shows the lengths they're willing to go to get control. And if the original lawsuit happened and TheCubicle lost, or if Rubiks wins this new one, the entire speedcubing community would be affected, because this would open the doors for them to attack other cubing stores, thus making it that much harder for cubers to get the puzzles they need to compete. It could potentially ruin speedcubing as a whole, and if not completely ruin, severely damage. I'm pretty sure I'm with everyone here as I say fuck you, Rubiks. You've treated the cubing community like shit for so long by trying to limit their options to just your cubes, which are some of the worst I've ever felt, and I'm pretty sure everyone else in the community can agree with me on that. You've had your chance of redemption by releasing the Rubik Speed. You could have teamed up with other speedcubing manufacturers or even kept going with GAN, and potentially could have had one of your products be seen as one of the best cubes on the market, similar to the Moyu Wheelon GTS 2M, the Valk 3M, and the GAN 356 Air SM. But instead, you let your wallet make your decisions for you, and further tarnished your own reputation way more than what you ever claimed TheCubicle ever did. I've been cubing since late 2014, and even though I haven't been around that long, I was actually ready to forgive you. I was even looking forward to your next product in hopes that it would be even better than the Rubik Speed. but ever since I first heard the news about this lawsuit, I've had to restrain myself from buying any of your products because I don't want to support a company that wants to monopolize the market they're a part of, who cares more about money and profit than the community itself to the point where they want to shut down the competition so they're the only ones left. I've seen some horrible companies do fucked up shit. Just look at companies like Comcast, EA, or GameStop. But Rubiks, you are by far one of the worst companies I've ever seen. The only other companies I've seen go to these types of lengths to control and monopolize the market are ISPs. Most, if not all of them, place their businesses in very strategic locations and pay politicians under the table so they can have control of that area without any threat of competition. It's borderline monopolization. Rubiks, you should be ashamed that I had to compare you to such horrible, money-hungry companies. I want to finish off this message to you by saying this. The reason you aren't liked within the speedcubing community is because you don't make products that are advertised towards speedcubers, yet you insist on controlling them at any chance you get, trying to limit their options so they're forced to use your own severely inferior hardware. Have you ever wondered why it's been ages since the last world record was set by a Rubiks brand? Have you ever wondered why cubers, including myself, recommend a random Chinese company's cube over yours? If you want to advertise towards speedcubers, go ahead. Just be sure to keep the community in mind next time, instead of trying to eliminate the competition. Though after this stunt, I highly doubt majority of the community will forgive you. There are a few things I want to say before I end off this video. First, if you don't like what Rubiks attempted to do and you want to make sure they feel the impact of their mistake, boycott all of their products. Companies like these will only listen if you hit them where it hurts, their wallet. Recommend people get cheaper, better cubes instead of going to Walmart or Target and grabbing one there. Try to avoid any Rubiks branded merchandise as much as possible. Maybe this way they'll actually listen to the community for once and stop trying to control us. Second, if you want to support TheCubicle with their lawsuit against Rubiks because lawsuits are insanely expensive, they recently opened up a GoFundMe, which I'll link in the description down below. They also recently released a Cube with Us t-shirt in which all of the profits will go directly into legal funds. Other than that, you can support them simply just by buying from them. Like I said in the beginning of this video, they have a wide selection of puzzles available to buy, and from what I've personally experienced, they have great customer service too, and while I'm not sponsored by them, I still do highly recommend their store. Lastly, I want to hear your guys' opinions regarding everything I discussed in this video, whether it's your own personal thoughts towards Rubiks, how you feel about the lawsuit, or even just your average on 3x3. Let me know in the comments down below. I would love to have a discussion with more members of this community that I love so much. And that's all I have to say regarding everything. With that said, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll talk to you guys next time. See ya, and best of luck to TheCubicle with their legal endeavors, and I really hope things turn out for the best.